So, yes, the chat room's been waiting for Kevin at Hillbuzz. Here's the deal with Hillbuzz. Hillbuzz, and you're going to hear it more directly from Kevin, is a blog. And, Hillary had a lot of supporters, to say the least, during the election. And I'll let Kevin speak for himself. But the banner there has a B and Hillary there. And they're in Chicago. And they have their blog deals with all kinds of national security matters, the mosque that's being built in New York near Ground Zero, which, of course, no doubt will be finished before our new tower there, of course. Also, the Sarah Palin, Mama Grizzlies. We're going to start dealing with branding there for the 2012 campaign. But now explaining himself and describing Hillbuzz for you himself, let's see if this works, is Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the Tammy Bruce Radio program.
Hi, Tammy. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, it is my pleasure. Now, you are one of our beta experiments here on the new phone system. How do I sound to you? Do I sound muffled or do I sound okay? Because I can make adjustments. I
sound totally fine.
Okay.
You sound totally fine to me.
Okay, good. And you sound great, too. All right, great. Well, Kevin, people can go to hillbuzz.org. I've loved your work for a very long time. Explain to people how Hillbuzz started and what you are now.
Well, what's really funny is none of us ever intended to be doing this at all, and I especially had no interest in doing anything with the web or with websites. That was never an aspiration of mine. But we were all Hillary guys during the 2008 campaign. We actually started campaigning for her in early 2007.
Wow.
And in 2008, we hit a stretch in February. This was after the Super Tuesday election in January, where many states voted, California, Massachusetts, New York, all of those.
That's right.
Then there was this run of quite a few caucuses. And if you remember, back then, Obama was very good at the caucuses. His people were very good at winning those. So we had a stretch in February of 2008 where it was caucus after caucus. And that was when Chris Matthews and Tim Russert and all these guys were really on Hillary's case to get her to drop out of the election.
That's right.
And they were beating down on her supporters. And Obama supporters were calling anyone that was voting for Hillary Clinton a racist.
That's right.
So if you supported Hillary, like I have since I was, before I was even in high school, I was a supporter of hers, you were called a racist. And all these names were thrown at you. So people were really getting very demoralized. And my friends and I decided we have to do something about this. We're just average people. None of us were really connected politically or anything. But we saw what was going on. We had to find a way to counter it. And here in Chicago, our group of volunteers, I was running phone banks out of my house every day, nonstop for Hillary, and I noticed that my volunteers were just starting to not show up anymore.
Oh, boy.
Because they were listening to the media.
Oh, boy.
So we came up with an idea, instead of addressing all this individually, person by person, via email, to just create a blog, and every day all the articles that were being put out by the media to browbeat Hillary supporters and demoralize them, we would counter them with our own explanation of why this was wrong.
Perfect.
On a blog format that people could then read, and it saved me an immense amount of time trying to coordinate all this information. The necessity is the mother of invention, and here's the great thing again, that new media has allowed people like us to really get in there and make a difference. Now, what we've and this is a lot of where the Pumas came from, and a lot of people who noticed things that were really amazing, because that Super Tuesday was really quite telling, Kevin. We're speaking with Kevin from hillbuzz.org. Is Hillary won every big state, every state that mattered. She won that. She was literally, if you want to balance he was winning those open caucuses where you didn't have any privacy, where it was like you could move the union people into like groups and do it. She won all of the big states that had private actual voting. And he was winning these smaller ones where people maybe could have been intimidated into the way they were voting. And she was, and this is, Kevin, what's always bothered me and why I kind of gotten increasingly upset with her. She was tied with him. They were using what I describe in my first book, The New Thought Police, these words to try and intimidate people. And Kevin, would you say when she backed out during the convention that she blinked? I mean, I see that she surrendered in through that. And how have you dealt with her choice to quit when, in fact, they were tied?
Well, see, with her, the thing you have to know, I don't know her on a personal level, but I've observed her quite a bit in the last 2 years, especially running Hillbuzz, is that racism stuff that they throw at you, if you oppose the left and it's Yalinsky methods.
Yes.
I think that is what made them blink, because they were so apt at using that. Like, I personally can talk to you that the left has tried to destroy me on a personal level just by running a political opinion site. And I get called a racist all the time because I don't support the current president. And they were using this against the Clintons, and the Clintons did not want to be destroyed by this. And that was always the Obama people's threat, is for her to stop her. If she continued and went to the convention, it would not be about her having won the nomination but having the DNC taken it from her and given it to Obama. It would be about those racist Clintons.
All right, now,
Kevin,
they don't
want the black man to win this.
I agree, but here's the deal, Kevin. They didn't destroy you. You know, people like us get threats all the time because we either we are liberals and we don't pay allegiance to the left, or we reject the Obama gangsterism. You survived. I've survived. Sarah Palin was viciously attacked. She has survived. Hillary and Bill, and maybe it's because they were so invested in whatever that kind of line was about the racism and about being who they were. It kind of noted, I mean, I really found that if you're going to be president, if you can't stand up to a gangster lawyer from Chicago, how are you going to stand up to I'm a dinner jacket or to North Korea? I mean, did that shift your opinion of her in the choice that she made?
Here's the thing. What the Democrats told her, I believe, is that if she did win at the convention, it would be a Pyrrhic victory, because what they would do is they would so alienate those black voters from her that in the general election, even if she pressed forward and got the nomination at the convention, that the blacks would not come out to vote, and that the liberals would also not come with them. So she wouldn't win the presidency, and what would she have then? She would be Ted Kennedy, but worse.
That's a good point.
Democrats still blame Ted Kennedy for 1980 Jimmy Carter losing, and here if Hillary went across the finish line, I believe she could have if she had stood her ground and really fought for it.
I agree.
But Obama, I believe both of the Obamas, Michelle Obama especially, because she had said several times that she would not support the Clintons if Hillary had won the nomination.
Amazing.
I believe that the Obamas would have campaigned against the Clintons and would have sunk the Democrat ticket that year. I really believe they would have.
You know, that is an excellent analysis. That's probably one of the best things I've heard, and perhaps because I think they were surprised. I always thought Barack Obama was a stalking horse. You know, they started with Hillary with the